Hello again, Lego and brick fan YouTubers out there. I have a review today. It's going to be a little bit different than some of my other reviews, but I thought given a lot of the questions and stuff that I've gotten on my channel, I thought this might be a fun topic to do here. And I'm going to review the different kinds of minifigures that I own. Tell you the pros and cons and what I like and don't like. And I kind of have them set up here in order of the bad to the good. So let's go ahead and start at the bottom. And that is here. These are Kazi Minifigures. They all came with gray hands that, if you look here, doesn't always fit into the hole. And they're not the ugliest looking face wise of all the bunch that I own, but they're very stiff. They don't stick well. To put it nicely, they are crap. Now, even though I love the Black Pearl ship that they came on, the actual figures themselves are garbage. Oh, see? That speaks for itself. And I want to say this in regards to Kazi bricks overall. Overall, they're not one of the better bricks out there. But their designs from the one set that I own is, it does have its flaws, but it still can be a nice quality set. But the brick quality is not one of the higher ones, and the minifigures are just downright pathetic. I mean, I actually thought I threw these guys away, so I was kind of surprised that I still had them. And here's another, strange little thing, the way their back pieces are, down by their legs. It's a quick way you can identify them as not being Lego. And oh, arm falls off. Yeah, they're garbage. Now these guys here, I actually have one Ausini or Aussini, I'm not quite sure how you say that, set, which I have not reviewed and probably won't. But I will take a look at their minifigures here. And you can kind of tell them right off the bat because they're almost like Arabic colored. They're not quite brown, almost like a grayish brown skin tone. Now, they did come with one African American minifigure, which was, kind of a surprise, but the most of them look like this. They're better than the Kazi figures. They are pretty, they're not the most terribly designed. You can move the hands. The back of the legs are pretty similar, but see how whoa, I just lost a leg. Yeah, they're definitely a step up from the Kazi minifigures, but they're not anything that I would put in my collection. All these guys are basically in the junk bin, I should say. And then we go to the Sluban minifigures. Now, I'll be the first to say that these guys are not terrible. Like, they're more solid feeling than the Kazi, the Aussini, and maybe even the Enlightened figures. They're just kind of strange. I mean, look at them. I mean, they're supposed to be pirates, and they have Viking hats on. And they got this guy here. Who's he supposed to be? Like an Asian version of Elvis on a pirate ship? And then they're just kind of weird. You know, their back of the legs are kind of similar to the Kazi, but also a little different. You know, but I will say one thing for these minifigures and for the Sluban bricks. The Sluban bricks and the figures are not terrible as in playability. You know, they're actually decent in that regard, but their designs are just weird. Like, same with the Sluban ship that I own. It's just poorly designed. And I would say the same about these figures. Like, I mean, come on. You guys, you don't even have to do a lot of homework. Just, you know, search around the internet. Do pirates look like this? No. And so, move on to the Enlightened figures. You know, some of you guys have went out and bought some Enlightened sets based upon what I said. So, here's what you're kind of being in store for. And I'll start with these front two here. On first glance, it would be kind of difficult to tell them apart from Lego minifigures because they're that similar in design and the faces, and you know, the yellow is a little bit different than the Lego ones. But here's where you'll notice the difference. Oh, my arm fall off. Oh, my leg fall off. It didn't fall off as easy as the Aussini guy, but yeah, they're just they don't pop together like the Lego guys do. They're definitely a little weaker. And then also you'll come across in your sets a few guys like this, which they're just kind of ugly looking. It's like they said, you know, we don't want to be an exact ripoff of Lego, so let's have our own unique guys. But their own unique guys are just kind of strange looking. They're just weird little guys. You know, but all in all, I would put these Enlightened figures ahead of all these other ones. They're definitely not grade A, but you know, a kid could play with them. You know, so they at least have that going for them. And then here we go to the genuine article. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these guys because they are Lego figures. They are absolutely perfect in every way. I mean, if you've watched any of my reviews, you probably have Lego sets. I mean, you know what these guys are all about. They're quality minifigures. Don't need to spend a lot of time talking about them. And then just for fun, I would bring in my one Bloks minifigure that I have. He's from the Call of Duty line. And, you know, he's not bad. He's definitely, you know, a step above all these other minifigures. And I've heard, you know, kids, you know, younger boys, you know, 10, 11 type age, talk about them and actually seem to prefer these kind of figures to these kind. And, you know, I get it. They're a little more cooler looking. You know, the Lego guys are, you know, kind of lame in comparison. But despite the fact he moves around a little bit better, he's not bad, but I really wouldn't want too many of these guys, to be honest. I wouldn't use them. You know, I grew up with Lego. Lego is what I like. You know, these guys, they're just, it's like a cross between a minifigure and an action figure, and which, I guess isn't a terrible thing. It's at least they're trying to do something different. But I just love how interchangeable these guys are. This guy doesn't have the interchangeability, at least not that I've noticed. Maybe you can rip his legs off and change him with another, Mega Bloks guy, but I don't know. It seems like you might break him. Where, these guys are completely customizable. So if I'd go through and give them all a rating, these guys are a 10. I'll give this guy, I'll give him an 8.5. I see the appeal here, especially with, younger kids, boys especially. These Enlightened figures, I'll give a 7. They have some playability. They're not the worst on the block, but they're definitely a step or two below Lego. These Sluban guys, I'll give them a 5. They're not the worst quality, but they're just plain ugly. These Aussini or Aussini, however you say that, guys, I'll give these guys a 4. They're almost on par with the Sluban and Enlightened, but they're not quite there yet. And then these little Kazi guys, I give him a 1. Look at his arm just falling off. He can't get the hand in the hole. They're ugly. This guy came with green pants with a blue shirt. Really? Green pants with a blue shirt? Stupid. They're a 1. Terrible. Throw them away. Garbage. Alright, everybody. That's my review today. Like and subscribe.